guys, nice shit here. So did anyone else school do this? Now, I went to a college town, middle school, and for 2 years of high school, I lived inside a college town. Now, the college was mainly the main force. So a lot of the people who did live there, they pretty much lived a little bit above their means. Other than where we lived inside Section 8 housing at the time, and we lived very below the means of most of the people inside that town. Now, during my middle school years, I still remember this play. This town was very big on trying to make the students happy while the kids were at school. So, like, our lunches were very special lunches. Your parents could easily order you special things, or, like, something I grew up eating all the time that was completely free, because I got free lunches because of where I lived on Section 8. I was able to get the free lunches, and I spent my whole life getting free lunches, which still does not make sense to me why people think that's bad, when in reality, the kid's eating. What's wrong with that? But I got free lunches my whole entire school time. And so for a long time, like for a lot of my high school years, I mainly got the little tiny square pizzas. But something I loved was that at the high school I went to inside that big college town was huge. And since the parents made a lot, their cafeteria had a full kitchen in it, where they wouldn't just be like one smaller area. They had its own area for Bosco sticks, had its own area for nachos, had its own area, and a lot of stuff was actually for free on the school lunches. So, like, something I loved was Bosco sticks and pizza. And when they did pizza, it wasn't the square pizzas. They actually did make homemade pizzas. Get the bread. They would just buy the dough from the actual store. But they would actually make little tiny personal pizzas for you. And they would normally set it up to where they're all cheese. But if you wanted like pepperoni or something on it, you just had to go up to them and ask for it. And they would put it into the oven with the pepperoni, and it'd take 3 minutes. There you go. But because of that, this school pretty much was not very good on certain things. And they were very welcoming. But if you didn't have a lot of influence, you kind of kept your head down. So, something I always remember, though, is about the year after I did that play. During that play, they physically said everyone will get a speaking role who tries to audition. They didn't even say cast. They said everyone will have at least 1 or 2 lines in the play. So, at the time, about 10 people auditioned, and I don't remember exactly what the play was. I think it was Cinderella or something like that. And what happened is that me and one other girl were the only 2 left without roles. All the main roles were done, the side roles, all of that was done. But for me and one girl, they chose for us to be goddesses during this play. Our job was to come out during an intermission and talk down as if we're looking down through the clouds as the main cast is sitting there at like a picnic or something, and we were talking down, and they would have like these big fluffy clouds in front of us, so it looked like we were talking through the clouds discussing what's going on with the humans. And I found it, and I still think about that play because it always makes me laugh to think that they made up 2 roles just to put the last 2 people who had auditioned into this play. But the year later, because I had done that, I felt a little more confident doing theater. So I had actually decided I was going to try for the talent show. The talent show, now I did this play in middle school, and I did the talent show inside of high school. Technically, I was on my last 2 weeks of middle school and about to go to high school when they did the talent show. So I was almost out of middle school, so I do count it as high school. You may not. But for this talent show, I was all signed up. I knew the song. It was Toby Keith's "Don't Take the Girl." I had a huge dance number for it. I mean, the whole entire song, all 3 minutes. I had a move for every single part of that song. And I still remember that dance to this day. And I remember that I didn't do the play, and I did not do the talent show in the end. Something in my brain just wouldn't calm down enough, and I kept fixating on something. I can't remember what it was, but it just pushed me into a state where I could not feel safe doing it. But I still remember that dance, and it makes me still wish I could do it now, because I'm older and I have that confidence now. But at the time, I don't think I had the confidence I needed to do that. I just thought because I did one play, I would gain it. And I realized I really am not okay. So, I had never actually done it, but I still have that song and the whole entire dance number in my head. But let me know down in the comments if you guys would ever want to see that. It's really old, so, but I'm not going to say it's perfect anymore because I haven't done it for years, but I still remember it. I remember practicing for months and months for that talent show. And now looking back at that time and realizing that I let an opportunity leave because I got scared, kind of makes me feel bad, but also makes me kind of silly. It makes me kind of laugh and giggle because it's like, why was I scared? I can't remember now. But then something scared me to the point I just want to do it. But now I can't remember what I was scared of. But let me know down in the comments if you guys ever experienced that. Bye.